Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey Gemini, this is a bonus reading for you guys. This is a Valentine's love spread, okay? This video is for Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, and Gemini Rising. So if you feel like what I'm saying in the video doesn't resonate with you, go on and check out your Moon and or Rising sign, which I do have linked down below in the description box, okay? Excuse me, guys. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so bear with me. All right. Also, with that being said, I am reading for singles and couples, so whichever applies to you, go on and head down to the description box and click on the timestamp, okay? We're going to start with singles. So, Gemini people, the first card that you have coming up in your spread is the Eight of Swords, and this is in the position of where your little heart chakra is and what it currently needs right now. So if you watch my readings, you know that the Eight of Swords is a card of entrapment when I read it. It's a card of feeling like you're safe and comfortable within yourself and not really wanting to go out there and try anything different because you have all these swords that you feel like whichever way you spread your wings, you could hurt yourself, okay, right? This is a swords card. So this deals with the air element. This deals with our perspective and our thoughts and our mental, right? This is telling me right now for a lot of you Geminis, and again, this is a general reading, so if this doesn't apply to you, go on and check out your Moon and or Rising sign, okay? For a lot of you Geminis, this is telling me that, the single one, sorry, that you may possibly be in this space to where you're not really feeling love, to where you're not really feeling like you're even open to maybe not even dating. These swords coming up here, I feel like kind of represent the way that you think of your past encounters or your past relationships or your past lovers or partners. And I feel like you definitely, from the energy of this card, feel like you have been wronged, feel like none of those relationships worked out, feel like they all went left, feel like they all went sour. And as of right now, you're kind of just like, well, I don't really see the need to go out there and mix and mingle. I don't really see the need to try and get into anything serious with anybody or do like relationships or anything because all I know from that is hurt. All I know from that is, you know, nothing good. So this card coming up here tells me that you guys need this Valentine's Day around this next week. This should actually be a period for you in which you are taking a little bit of time to pamper yourself, nourish your, I'm sorry, I didn't mean nourish, I meant to say nurture yourself. Well, I guess nourish too, feed yourselves, feed the soul, feed your mind. This next week for you, this holiday, I don't think for, ooh, my stomach is growling. Did y'all hear that? I am hungry. Oh, but I want to knock these out before I have to like get ready to head to work. So sorry if y'all hear my stomach talking to y'all too. This next week for you Geminis, I think is very much going to be a time where you just take a little bit of time for yourself, where you may be feeling this Eight of Swords energy, but I think that if this is what you're going to go into, Gemini, try to do it on a level to where you're not resonating in a negative energy, but more so in a, okay, I'm going within myself because I need to heal my thoughts. I need to heal the way that I think about my past relationships. Again, just because they went bad doesn't mean that you have to always think of them as bad. You can look at every life as a classroom. You can look at everything like a learning experience. So go in, regroup, rethink, shift your perspective on the things that you have gone through or dealt with, and try to build yourself back up again. That's not to say, oh, build yourself back up again to go out there and be in a relationship by any means. That's just saying, you know, get yourself back to a space to where you don't look at love in a negative light, okay? The next card that you guys have coming up is in the position of how you can get more into the loving energy during this Valentine's Day, and you've got the Justice card. This is what I consider one of my karmic cards. This comes in with karmic cycles, and this talks about fairness and, you know, honesty. So I think for you Geminis, as I was talking about with that Eight of Swords, you're going to be in a position to where you might be thinking about your past lovers and your past relationships over this next week, especially with that Valentine's love. You see hearts everywhere, like it, you can't avoid it, you know. For you, though, I think the key is for you to be tapping into a loving energy in which you can kind of devote to yourself. So this Justice card coming up is telling me that, Gemini, you really do over this next week need to be looking at your past relationships, your past interactions with the people that you had love for, or that you loved, or that you were in love with, and really be honest with yourself and say, okay, what happened here? What did I do? What did they do? How did it turn out? Why did it turn out like that? Acknowledge it, accept it, release it if you need to, and then move forward. The Justice card is talking about karmic cycles and karmic instances for you, Gemini. So as far as this reading is concerned, I think you just need to kind of go over and reflect your past relationships, just to put you in a space to where you don't have to resonate within this Eight of Swords, always within yourself, to where, like I said, you have an open mind, not necessarily saying, oh, give me all the love, but yeah, I'm open to it if it comes my way. You know what I'm saying? All right, lastly, for the singles, the card that you have popping up in the energy of popping up in the position of what energy is going to be surrounding this Valentine's Day for you is the Nest card, which is home. And as I was saying, this Valentine's Day is all about returning to you, returning to what it is that you need, what it is that you want, what works for you, what doesn't. So Gemini, I don't think this is going to be a very lovey-dovey, mixing and mingling, getting out there, dating type of holiday for you. I think the energy for you in this next week is very much focused on yourself and how you can get yourself back to a space of love within yourself, and in a way that's also what you exude, so to speak. So, happy Valentine's Day, single Geminis. This is a Valentine's Day for you as opposed to you and anyone else, okay? Okay, next up I have, y'all, I was looking for my Gatorade. It was sitting right in front of me the whole time. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, now reading for the coupled Geminis. The first card that we've got coming up in your spread is the Father of Swords, which is the King of Swords. And this is in the position of where your heart chakra is at and what it currently needs. So this is interesting because also for the singles, I pulled a Swords card and a Major, but that Justice card resonates with air energy for me for some reason. And then on this side, I have Swords cards for you too, which is your energy, Gemini. So this card coming up here. So one, what's telling me is this Valentine's Day is not very much so about love for you. It is about what's going on in your head. For my Geminis in relationships, you got the Father of Swords here. This is the King of Swords. This is a card that resonates with the energy of clarity, of understanding, of seeing everything for what it truly and honestly is, and being able to emotionally detach yourself from situations so that you can move in a logical way. That's what I meant to say. Anyways, this popping up here, being in the position of where your heart chakra is at and what does it need, tells me two things. Some of you, and again, this is a general reading for Gemini, so if this doesn't resonate with you, go on and click on your moon or rising sign, okay? For some of you in relationships, you're currently in a space to where you're starting to think about certain things. You're starting to see your partner for who they truly are. You're starting to understand, oh, this is what it really is, and you're kind of pulling away from your relationships to kind of weigh them out like your sister air sign Libra is like the scale, so to speak, to say, okay, do these pros outweigh the cons, or do these cons outweigh the pros, and is this really something that I need to be involved in? I keep my readings very honest, so with that being said, you do have the Nine of Swords coming up in this spread, and I'm going to read that in a different way too, but I very much so feel like for a lot of you Geminis, you may be at this point to where you are reconsidering if you're in the relationship that you really want to be in, and maybe thinking about ways to start making moves to move on from it. For those of you that this did not resonate with, another message for this card is some of you may be in a relationship and you actually do need to tap into the Father of Swords, this King of Swords energy, and take a step back, emotionally detach yourself a little bit and say, okay, is this really good for me? Is this really what I need? Try and see your partner for their true colors. Try and see yourself for who you truly are, and see if y'all's energies truly and honestly align, okay? I very much so pick up on the energy, though, that a lot of you Geminis may be ending relationships around this Valentine's Day or moving into the endings of these relationships, if that makes sense. One, because you have the Nine of Swords here. Typically, I read this card as, you know, this is external energies influencing you in a negative way, but this is in the position of how you can get into a more loving energy within your relationship. This Nine of Swords comes with the message for me that you may have possibly been told before that this is not for you. Your partner may have been told that this is not for them. You guys have probably been hearing or been seeing from, you know, outside of you that people don't really see where this is going or how it's going to work. And this Nine of Swords card is really just coming with the energy telling me that it may not, to be completely honest. Like I said, I keep it very real. I know I'm going to probably get a couple thumbs down on this video for y'all that think y'all are truly invested in your relationships. But trust me, the energy's coming up here telling me that you don't need to be. And I'm going to confirm it even more. So with the energy surrounding your Valentine's Day for you, you've got the Skull card, and this is the death energy. So as you guys know, if you know about tarot, you know about oracles, this card resonates with the energy of things dying out, of things coming to an end, cycles ending, clearing out space so that you can move into a new. Gemini, literally the death card right here is saying, I don't know, your relationship might be coming to a close around this time, or you might start to feel like it's coming to a close around this time. And when I see this card, when I pull this card to read for this, I don't like people to get this bad, negative feeling about it. Understand that everything happens as it should. Everything happens in divine timing. And if this is the energy surrounding your relationship right now, it just means that you got everything that you needed to get out of it, and it is now time to move forward, okay? So, you know, that's the real. If, like I said, if that didn't resonate with you, go on and check out your moon and or rising sign. But for those of you that it did, you know, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Just understand that these things are ending so that you can come into whatever it is that you're really supposed to be in alignment with, okay? All right, Gemini, that is your reading for Valentine's Day. If you have any questions, or if you feel like you need a personal reading or need more clarification, you can book one with me. I've got all that info linked down below. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all next time.